Kuzu Zangpo and a very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week. My name is Namgyong Chuk and our top stories for this week. As promised, the government will establish 3 colleges in the east this year. Taxpayers in the capital are not able to file in their income tax online through Remis, a system meant to ease tax payment and collection. And Home Ministry terminates 27 immigration officials involved in bribery, manipulation and fraud case. The government will upgrade 2 schools in the east to college and start the construction of new college in Yongphula this year. This was revealed in the Meet the Press session.
Lobda chewa takpachinalu class chuchita chuni yakshimle thotudi pesitenshimle digu ngachegi te thorim lobdagi shenya gutsubi iseshuni tani tare ngachegi te lobda kada ka ngizin beiga ngachichelu labnusube kachimso chin sheril hankada dele geljin tula lobdagi hontole te lembo tamsho digi tizini te sheril lembo na judu te korani gi bana te shipchi as leshimber begobe se mapade lobda suding ngizin besa ngachelu than labgobe.
Prime Minister Singh Topge said the government will allow the street hawkers to sell their food items along the street in Thimphu, but there have to be strict monitoring rules for them. Over 40 street hawkers had submitted a petition to the Prime Minister in November last year for permission to sell food items along the street.
Lamluchi lejime zogobe seshoni. Lamlu lejime zogobe seodalu cheluding agi tekadu lapsu. Numu tadit numu chutsini ludi te deve jugo bagdigibe te diding achigi tomite seshoni. Didit mapale mitube. Teru tongono achin te nima churuberu yepchika sunsu te digit chongchamnigi ro jemizume te gokap judu bodulu rangi te rangi chachesue lejime dam chada chapbe te juni yepchibe ngachane benigi noksoyu seshuni.
The Department of Local Governance will discuss with the relevant agencies to see how the retirement benefits are provided to the local government members. Local Government Members Entitlement Act states LG members are entitled for retirement benefits such as gratuity and provident fund. The act came into effect in July last year, but no deductions for pension were made from their salary. It is also not certain whether the members will get gratuity for serving 5 years or just from the day the act came into force. However, officials shared everything will be sorted out once the discussion is over. Local government members are GUPs, Mamis, Tsokpas and Thomdetumis. They will complete their 5-year term this June. Prakash Kuikal from Daga Higher Secondary School in Dagana topped the Class 10 exams this time with 92.8%. The cutoff percentage is 58%.
Prakash Kuikal from Daga Higher Secondary School topped the 2015 exams. He scored 92.8%. He was closely followed by Dejintlamo Gelson from Yangchitpho Higher Secondary School with 91.2%. The third position went to 3 students with 90.8% each. They are Sonam Zangpor from Sherabling Higher Secondary School, Sringnido from Nganglom Higher Secondary School, and Tashi Tengel from Dechincholing Higher Secondary School. Jamyang Dorji from Zonghua Development Training Institute topped the Language and Cultural Studies Certificate examination with 81%. Sangit Sewang from School of Language and Cultural Studies, Chogit Dorji from Zonghua Development Training Institute, and Namgit Thinle from Kinfin Language and Cultural Training Institute stood second with 75.4% each. Jigme Tenzin from School of Language and Cultural Studies secured the third position with 75%. The overall pass percentage decreased to 92.94%. In 2014, pass percentage was 93.73%. Over 11,000 students sat for the examination last year. Sonam Singh, BBS News.
The REMIS or Revenue Administration Management Information System was expected to cut down paperwork and make tax collection efficient. But not only last year, the Department of Revenue and Customs and the taxpayers are facing the same problems frequently with the system in the capital this year also.
The problem started more than a week ago. Taxpayers and the customs officials are not able to use the online system during office hours, and the staff ends up working manually and collects piles of tax return forms during such problems. The taxpayers also complained about the problem. Some went to the office to file the tax in person, but to find the same problem faced by the office.
We have actually tried our best to file the PIT online, but we couldn't access the web, and then actually we have tried to seek the administrator password from the administrator from the DRC, but there was no response from the DRC. So we end up in coming back person, and then
I tried to file online, and online was not logging on today. I couldn't access today. So since the time is getting out, I thought manual filing would still achieve the purpose.
Some taxpayers said it would be better if they are able to do online, as they won't be mistreated by the staff of the department. The Ramis project officer of department said the problem has been caused by many taxpayers and different revenue collecting agencies using the system at the time.
The number of users has increased, and also on top of that we have so many changes like additional features with a lot of validations. So this might be one of the causes. This is technical issues, and we are trying to find out the actual cause, and we are looking for a permanent solution.
The developers of the system are in the country to look into the problem. They had earlier tried to address the issue but were unsuccessful. They said they are still trying to make the system work, but it is not certain when they will be able to solve the problem. Chetan Dupchu, PBS News.
In the past 12 years, Bhutan has significantly reduced anemia prevalence among children below 5 years of age. As per the National Nutrition Survey 2015, such cases reduced by almost half.
The survey reports from around 80% of children below 5 years of age suffering from anemia in 2003, the number decreased to 43% last year. Health officials did not disclose the actual number of cases based on which these comparative percentages were derived from. According to the World Health Organization, anemia among children represents a severe public health issue. Anemia is a condition in which the number of red blood cells or their oxygen-carrying capacity is insufficient to meet physiological needs.
When we looked at the data, there are three or four things that have significantly improved. One is the household sanitation. Household sanitation has significantly improved over the years, so this we can attribute. And the other thing is the women's nutrition status. The women's nutrition status, especially for mothers, the mothers were basically having improved sort of foods and all. So these things have improved for mothers. This has also contributed to decreasing rates in the anemia. And thirdly is the child feeding itself. Although it is not appropriate, although it is not really adequate, the most important problem is the child feeding. So although it is not really adequate to the extent that we want, it has still improved compared to what it was way back in 2000.
As per the National Nutrition Survey 2015, 17% of the children consumed iron-rich food. This, the nutritionist said, is relatively low.
Mostly, we find that the households were eating foods that do not have enough of micronutrients. They were mostly eating the basic staples like rice and cereals and other foods that do not have. On the other hand, they are not eating enough of green leafy vegetables.
Apart from nutrition deficiencies and lack of sanitation, anemia is also caused by genetic defects. For pregnant women, neonates, and children, anemia can increase risk of mortality and cause physical development problems. The Health Ministry, to prevent and correct iron deficiency anemia, has developed multi-sectoral strategies such as increasing iron intake through food-based approaches, iron supplementation, and sanitation. Trinzam, BBS News.
Despite unemployment being a burning issue in the country, getting people to work as a parking fee collectors is a major challenge in Phuntsholing. This is mainly because such employees claim they are taunted and harassed on a daily basis at their workplace.
Observing the practice, BBS learned some drivers refuse to pay, saying they just parked, while others pay after negotiating. And most times, the parking fee collectors are left to accept with humility. 26-year-old Pema Zangmo is one of the parking fee collectors in the town. The mother of three says she cannot afford to complain and argue with motorists on a daily basis.
In 30 minutes, we collect only 30 Newton. Some even refuse to give 10 Newton, while some abuse us verbally. We try to ignore it, thinking it is part of our job. Maybe people think we can't do anything. They abuse us on a daily basis. It is mostly those people driving luxurious cars who abuse us. There are also others who understand our problem and pay us accordingly.
Another parking fee collector, Buddhimaya, shares similar experiences.
Some cars are parked for house, and when we ask for the fee, they just abuse us, claiming it hasn't been that long. Some even try to abuse us physically. At times we complain, but other times we think it is of no use making the issue big. So I just call some of my other colleagues and ask for the charge.
Kipchu, the contractor who has been awarded the parking fee collection contract, said frequent harassment at workplace has forced some of his employees to quit job just after a week of joining.
Through our business, we try to provide employment opportunities, but it's hard to get people to work. At times, not a single person turns up for the job. I have personally visited the Labour and Employment Office here regarding the matter. Labour officials also called me whenever youth seeking employment approached them. However, the moment we say the job vacancy is for parking fee collector, they decline. Out of curiosity, I did a personal research and found it's harassment at workplace that discourages people from taking up the job.
The parking fee collectors are paid a monthly salary of 5,500 ngitam. They are also allowed to keep the additional income after collecting their day's targeted amount. However, parking fee collectors say the financial perks may not be all compensating when they have to compromise on their self-esteem on a daily basis just to earn a decent livelihood. For Kingatashi in Phuntsholing, Sonamongdi, BBS News.
With the rapid developmental activities and increasing construction works, the demand for sand has been ever increasing. The Natural Resources Development Corporation, or NRDCL, in Wangdi-Phodrang, which is the largest supplier of sand in the country, is finding out measures to fulfill the increasing demand.
Earlier, the extraction of sand was seasonal business for NRDCL, but now with the installation of true dredging machines, it can extract sand throughout the year. Two dredging machines were installed in January last year. The machine extracts sand from the river. 40,000 truckloads of sand were supplied in 2011, the highest so far. Last year, the supply was little more than 20,000 truckloads. The sand is extracted from two quarries in Punasangchu. Punasangchu quarries have one of the finest and best quality sand with minimum foreign particles.
We have not faced any problems. We always try our best because our focus is mainly to provide service to our valued customers. So we also try our best to ensure that the demand is always fulfilled, and there is not even one instance where people have made noise that there is no sand. And as I said, with the addition of this two dredging machine, that has greatly helped NRDCL in making the sand available to the public.
Though the demand is increasing, the supply is abundant. Sand is mostly used for construction purposes and making of construction materials such as bricks and slabs. The abundance of sand in Punasachu has also led to mushrooming of brick factories near the quarry areas. To meet the increasing demand, the NRDCL will also install one more dredging machine by end of this month. The supply of sand was nationalized in 2007 and NRDCL was mandated for extraction and supply of sand in the country. Compiled for Komal Kharka, Sringzam, BBS News.
The Ministry of Home and Cultural Affairs terminated 27 immigration officials involved in bribery, manipulation and fraud case. The officials had been under suspension for over a year. Anti-Corruption Commission had forwarded the case to the Office of Attorney General in January last year.
The Regional Immigration Office in Phuntsholing is yet to receive termination order, though it came in on 4th February. The letter was sent following the court's verdicts. Phuntsholing Dungka Court and District Court had pronounced 27 guilty of the 31 immigration officials involved in the case. 2 were acquitted and the judgment for 1 has been deferred. Bhutan Civil Service Rules and Regulations says a civil servant shall be terminated from service if he is convicted by the court of law for an offence of misdemeanor and above related to official functions. ACC had booked 83 people in total after some officials from Foreign Worker Recruitment Agency bribed the immigration officials to extend foreign workers' duration of stay in the country. Upon receiving the bribe, the immigration officials manipulated the workers' documents and extended the deadline. Apart from immigration officials and recruitment agencies, some police personnel and taxi drivers were also involved. Of the 83 involved, Phuntsholing courts have sentenced 77, deferred the judgment of 4, and acquitted 2. Compiled for Kingatashi, Taralimbu for BBS News.
The government is still not yet ready to sell shares of some of its state-owned enterprises to strengthen the country's stock market. Prime Minister Sring Tobgay said Bhutan's stock market, being the smallest, is also the slowest in the world.
While the government promised extensive reform in the financial sector to strengthen the stock market, there are very few measures the government can adopt to achieve that target. Besides, it is also not in favor of selling shares to the public by divesting some of its profitable government organizations. Prime Minister explained if government shares were floated to the public, only a few people with means and expertise might benefit.
The jungi gopshadi the yobab chinsong the shuni the nyankati kadabe yobmosa wachin the jungi lezin ototobe la bemi kepsa zodigibe.
The idea of selling government shares sounds good, but government organizations contribute a lot to the revenue that is used to provide free education and primary health care to a vast majority. By divesting, the government is compromising a major chunk of its revenue and it will impact health and education facility.
The divest shares, divest bedigi be stock exchange na lutona bachin nyankati jungi hombab dilu tophong sashuni.
However, the Prime Minister said the stock exchange today was looking to establish a separate commodity exchange where commodities including agricultural produce and minerals would be listed in the stock exchange.
Once the mega hydropower projects are completed, they would fuel industrial growth, and then many industries will then be listed in the stock exchange and floating their shares to the public.
Bhutan's stock market is the smallest in the world besides the Maldives. Nirup Gelson for BBS News.
Some cereal vendors at the Centenary Farmers Market in Thimphu are not happy with the management's rule of allocating a place to sell their items, and it hasn't changed for years.
It is about 6 in the morning and cereal vendors are waiting for the gate to open. What you're going to see next is something unexpected. It is to get the best place to sell their produce. Old and feeble do not stand a chance. Vendors claim the lucky dip system failed after cases of favoritism. For them, these areas closer to the entrance to the market are considered the best places. and this happens every Wednesday. But when it involves physical strength to reserve a place, vendors hire people to race for them.
Telma ponju gola sago ki tinlola te ponju tolola te ngacha ponju misbela te ponju masubda ngacha ki ponju mi te mi ngai chego bela te ngai chego dolo ngai disu na sago gasa thobi gole te pe mashiba chinga ki ni nuchu tsukti na sago sumbachin te ni nuchu ki sumi sago nalo chonga ki chonta me chu semela te garu choro ni nuchu ki ra chongo semela te ta nuchu ki chonta ma chaba katem chibe nuchu choma deba ngai ki choma chin se khungi fine ki receive ani 500 e se kiomela te ta ana fine ki receive 500 di khungi ngacha na sago chi ki detha ma chebi ki fine membela ta na ke chap rule le ge ki la bewa chin se ki luchi mela ta ngacha ki rule le ge la de kane ma bela.
The manager of Centenary Farmers Market, Sring Tenzin, said the penalty is imposed for the vendors' welfare.
Dia ngachige chatimda thibiwachin the sago zunigia the hema gaju milu tego bi the ani bindiki kon the ma ba jumidi the diletin di sijuni the sago zumdalu the baju benedigi larji ganga gingi disulu the tamado tim imbe didin the terebari din.
But things will change with the management allocating a permanent place for the cereal vendors. The shed can accommodate 60 vendors, but there are only about 40 regular vendors. Tamchuzam, BBS News.
The land lease arrangement between the shopkeepers in Hunse town and the Dzongkhag administration expires this August. But of the 28 households there, only 7 have completed constructing buildings in the new identified town. 3 are underway.
In 2006, the 28 shopkeepers in Hunse town were given a new plot each in an area above the existing town. They were then given 15 months for construction of buildings. The construction period was calculated from the day their buildings' structural designs were approved, and by 2013, they were expected to shift to the new town. But even to this day, most of them are yet to start the construction.
We had
to change the structural design for more than 5 times, and we did not have experts. So every time we had to wait for about 8 months. In this process, we lost almost 3 years. And after we had the approval, we are not able to avail ourselves loan for construction. We want to construct new buildings and shift, but we don't have money at the moment. If we are forced to move, then we don't have house back in the village. Almost all the shopkeepers are from far places like Ne, Tangmachu or Jangal. I think the government will certainly look into the matter.
The design and loan made us wait for long, but now we heard we get loan for construction. The government has been supportive so far. They leased us land and I don't think they will drive us out forcefully. We don't have anywhere to go until the construction is complete. We cannot leave under a tent.
Failing to shift to the new town by 2013, the Dzongkhag administration extended the construction deadline by 3 more years. The land, almost an acre on which Hunse town existed for decades, was then leased out to the shopkeepers until August this year. From the lease, over 37,000 Newton has been going to the country's revenue annually.
We have to act as per the written agreement between the Dzongkhag and the shopkeepers. On the other hand, we are but citizens of one country, so I think the Dzongkhag and concerned authorities should look into the matter seriously. There is no place for them to move to if we act as per the agreement. Who is going to provide them the required facilities? If it falls on the government, then it's going to be a loss for the government.
If everything goes as per the land lease agreement, and if these huts in Hunse town are to be dismantled by this August, Hunse town will have just 7 buildings that are already in place. And the shopkeepers are already worried that whether they will be able to get a space in these buildings to run their business in future or not. Surjiman Thapa, BBS News, Hunse.
In the history of Bhutan's participation in the South Asian Games, the country recorded its highest medal wins this time. The event concluded on Tuesday. In 1999, Bhutan won 14 medals, including a gold, and to this day, it remains as the best in terms of performance. This time, Bhutan has been decorated with 15 bronze medals and only 1 silver. Bhutan bagged the medals in 3 sports events. The most medals were won in Taekwondo, followed by archery and boxing. The last time Bhutan won a gold medal in the event was in 2004. However, even after achieving the feat of winning 16 medals, Bhutan ranked bottom of the table in the medal tally for 3rd time in the event's history. Well, that's all we have for this week. Join us next week, same time and same channel. Thank you for now.